Hello, I'm Alma Schneider. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and the proud mother of 4 children, one of whom has Prader-Willi syndrome.
And I am Iris Miller. I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor and the proud mother of 2 children, one of whom has quadriplegic cerebral palsy and is nonverbal.
In this podcast, we discuss the uncensored truth about raising children with disabilities.
Prepare to laugh, cry, and hopefully learn something new.
This is Two Moms, No Fluff.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Two Moms, No Fluff, the podcast in which we discuss the uncensored truth about raising kids with disabilities. I'm here with my smart, beautiful partner, Alma Schneider, who's been recording these episodes with me 4 years now. Thank you, Alma, for being here again, and thank you for our listeners, the ones that have been with us from the beginning, and to the ones that joined us for today for the very first time. Today we have a special guest, and I'll let Alma introduce our guest.
Thank you, Iris. Welcome, everyone. We are very happy today to have a guest from Maryland, the DC area, who is going to tell us a little bit about who he is and what he does, Mr. Jared Ciner. Jared, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you.
We're so glad you came. And if you could just tell us a little bit about your background and who you are and how you got involved in the work that you currently do with the disability community.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. So, my name is Jared Ciner. I grew up in Denver, actually, and then had a great opportunity to do a lot of volunteer work, kind of growing up. I worked as a camp counselor with campers with disabilities and did a bunch of volunteer work through programs that my aunt would set up. And so just became very comfortable and familiar, providing support and being involved with people with disabilities at a young age. And as I got older, I went to University of Maryland and got a degree in psychology, which only opened up doors if you wanted to go to more school, which I didn't. So I got a couple jobs after I graduated, one working as a personal trainer at a gym, teaching fitness and exercise, and then another working as a support counselor with adults with developmental disabilities. And it took about 5 minutes of those two jobs before I realized how disconnected those two industries were from each other, and how little the typical gym world put towards accommodating and modifying exercises and creating accessible environments, and at the same time, how few resources there were for people with developmental disabilities to participate in fitness activities. And so that was the catalyst to create a organization, which is called Spirit Club, which focuses on making fitness and exercise accessible and supportive and inclusive and available to everyone in our community. And that, of course, includes people who have a disability.
Wow, Jared, this is amazing. And I think that Alma and I, as parents of children with disabilities, we know a little bit about our unique challenges with our children. Can you share a little bit about what you see as the main challenges of people with disabilities when it comes to training, working out, going to the gym, and break it down a little bit for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the main challenges is really breaking the stigma that people with disabilities can't join a gym and work out, right? I think when the right accommodations are, the right environment is created and professionals have the right background and knowledge to know how to support a person with a disability, then there's really no reason why somebody who uses a wheelchair or somebody who has autism can't go to a gym and exercise. So I think one of the main challenges is just breaking that stigma. There's been so many times where we talk to parents or staff members and they say, well, my son or daughter or my client, they can't do that. Right? This is not, it's a cool idea, but they won't be able to do it. And it's been almost 12 years And really never has that been true as long as people try and we do our job well of, providing those modifications or accommodations or adapting the exercises or the environment, which oftentimes is just small tweaks that you just have to know how to do. Then people are able to participate and be successful and enjoy those, countless benefits that exercise provides for everybody. So, we all know how important exercise is to be healthy and happy. And, just making sure that we realize that those benefits can be accessible for people with disabilities as long as we do our job as professionals to make them available. So yeah, I think one of the hardest parts is just kind of making sure people know that this is something that everybody can do and that there are things that we can do as professionals in the fitness world to make our programs more accessible.
So I have a couple of questions piggybacking on that. Is Spirit Club housed within a gym, or is it a program within a gym, or is it a totally separate entity with its own building and facility?
Yeah, it's its own entity.
Okay.
So we have a few locations. Some of them, like our main headquarters in Kensington, is its own gym. So we have our own lease with the building, and
Mhm.
we've built our own gym from scratch. It's turned a big warehouse space into a really awesome gym with, sports equipment, basketball hoop, group exercise station, full on weights, power racks. And then we also have partners, right? We have some gym partners throughout the area in DC and Northern Virginia. We partner with existing gyms where we, sublet from them and offer programs out of their facilities. We also have partnerships with organizations, disability service providers who maybe have a big facility and we sublet some space from them and have kind of converted a part of their space into a little fitness studio. So we try to be creative in getting our programs out into different areas, whether that be through having our own standalone gym or partnerships with existing gyms or organizations.
Okay. And what's your favorite part, you personally, about working with the disability population? Do you have any, particular types of disabilities that you prefer to work with, or what do you
Yeah,
say?
I think uh, so. My job has changed over the years, right?
Uh-huh,
I think initially I had that chance to do a lot more of the hands-on training,
uh-huh,
right? The early stages. I started Spirit Club with an awesome guy named Sam Smith,
uh-huh.
who has autism and has also ran 7 marathons,
Wow.
and really brainstorming with him and, collaborating on how to come up with engaging programs. Um, I think the program development is always fun, but really working hands-on with people and building those personal connections and relationships and seeing people do things that, maybe they or their family members didn't think they could do. And really just the human interaction, I think, is ultimately the best part. As the organization's grown and I've become more focused on, scaling it and developing it, you lose that day-to-day interaction with our members, to that degree. But I think ultimately, I always know that everything that I do, even if it's behind a computer screen, is helping to make the services more widely available to more people. So, I really enjoy the interaction and the training, directly with people, but I also enjoy knowing that I could be doing things behind the scenes to make it more available to more people.
That's great. Good answer.
Yes. Jared, I want to ask you, while Alma and I are super excited about Spirit Club and the idea and the benefit that it brings to people with disabilities and would work to bring that to our communities, um, we want to ask you, what are your recommendations for parents who are listening right now who have children or adults with disabilities that they would like to really help them get into a more of a well-being state and get to train, work out? How do the parents, or how can a family facilitate a healthy lifestyle for a person with a disability that has not been a part of any working out so far?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's definitely going to be, those day-to-day things that we could all try to do more of, right? And then, trying to pair that with finding a more structured, program like Spirit Club will hopefully one day soon be available in New Jersey. But, also
And
understanding,
Midland, Michigan.
yes, and Michigan. Yeah, we'll follow you. That's how we've always expanded, is we follow people who are interested. So, yeah, so definitely, it, we'll stay connected on that. But I think there's always the day-to-day things that we could all be doing more of, right? Trying to get outside more, go for walks. Obviously healthy eating is a huge part of being healthy. But in my world of, being physically active, we have some resources on our website of trying to find things you can do to stay physically active that require as little as possible. Like there's an awesome list of exercises that you can do literally from home with a chair, right? Whether it's just stand up out of your chair and sit back down. Of course, there's physical modifications for people who use a wheelchair, and just all these different things you can do that you just work into your day that you can do to be physically active from home. During COVID, we did create a whole virtual platform of online classes and videos that a lot of our members still use that you could always, just take a 10-minute break out of your day, pull up a, 10-minute Zumba class or yoga video or fitness class and try to just sprinkle these things into your day. It's hard for everybody to figure out how to stay active. And so I think, really you just have to be very, very mindful and disciplined and focused, put it on your daily calendar, put it on your schedule. So it's not something that you can forget about. And, doctors say 150 minutes a week is what we all need to do to to stay healthy. So, that's 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Just put it on your schedule and come up with specific things to do for each of those time slots. And that's, I think, the first big step.
Great.
Amazing.
Well,
Alma, I just wanted to ask Jared if you don't mind just sharing the website where families can find the links to those online exercises and recommendations.
Yeah, so our website is spirit-club.com. So just www.spirit with a hyphen club.com. And we have yeah, all of our programs. There's a virtual tab on the top right that'll take you to all the videos and there's also live classes if you want to do it virtually and be with other people. Um, and then we have a blog page where we have a bunch of different blogs and things we've written, like exercise recommendations and things you can do from home as well.
that's great. Now, do you have uh, what is the payment? What is the fee like? How do people become members at a Spirit Club?
Yeah, so the membership fees will vary based off of what type of service you're looking for. So you can do, group classes, you can do personal training, you can do the online content, access the online content. All of that's going to vary based off of, which type of program you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a lot of different partners and ways to try to reduce cost for people.
Mm-hmm.
About 10 years ago, a couple years after we started, we helped create a nonprofit called Spirit Club Foundation, which basically gives scholarships and grants to individuals and organizations that want to engage in fitness but don't, need financial support.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always available for people. And then using different, funding opportunities, whether it's Medicaid. I believe New Jersey has a really helpful Medicaid system when it comes to fitness specifically, where people are able to put some of their fitness fees, to have that billable. So I'll have to do a little more research on that, but I know there's some states that are more friendly, like Washington, D.C. is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland is, you can use that if you're using their self-directed waiver, you can pay for fitness. So always trying to make sure we partner with and make ourselves providers in the right way so that people can use whatever funding support that they have and put that towards their fitness service fees as well.
That's great. So even the virtual, so that can, even though there isn't a location in a number of states, you can still do the virtual programs. And you said that they have live classes with other people. That's great. no matter
Mhm.
where you are. All right, this is wonderful. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you would like to tell our audience about
Um,
spirit?
I, yeah, I think maybe one fun fact that we didn't share is just like how we got started. I was working with Sam, who I mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
who has autism. He's since become a certified running coach, and he has his own running program. Um, that's a big part of what we focus on as well as that employment side. So we
Mm,
do have a high percentage of our fitness instructors and our staff are also people with disabilities, making sure that we're providing. We've found that we have one trainer who has cerebral palsy. His name is Dion. He's also a Muay Thai amateur Muay Thai fighter,
mm,
and other trainers with other types of disabilities. And we found that this not only has opened up doors for people to engage in exercise, but also to find employment and career opportunities, whether it be working as a trainer or helping in the front desk, helping with facility support, things like that. So I'm just always keeping in mind that, employment is always such a big, important issue as well.
yeah,
And I think, championing these types of organizations, whether it be Spirit Club or other, providers that are focused on supporting people with disabilities, keeping in mind that it always opens up those employment opportunities as well. And that's something that we're really focused on also.
that's wonderful. Thank you for being so thoughtful about every aspect of the disability world and community, because it's all important and it can all be interwoven as you've demonstrated.
Well, same to you. I know your work is
That's right.
extremely important and helpful. So we're
Thank
in
you.
it together.
That's right.
Thank
Okay.
you
Well,
so much, Jared. Really important topic, well-being and physical exercise. If any of our listeners have questions for Jared with regards to Spirit Club or to Alma and myself with regards to your children with disabilities, whether they're newborns or the elderly, we'll be able to answer at info@2momsnofluff or at info@oneinsixsupport.org. Thank you and looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
thank you. Thanks, Jared.
Yep.
For more information, please go to www.twomomsnofluff.com. Thank you.
If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give it a 5-star rating so more people can hear it. Thank you.